We're in the beautiful state of Western Australia, and a place I love to come to just north of Perth, about 2 hours, is Nambung National Park. One of the places here that's really a pretty place for photographers is the Pinnacles. And one of the new opportunities in this part of the world is the sand dunes. They're pure white, and I love the sculptured forms and shapes and lines, shades and tones that we're going to get over the next few days. It's ultimate creative week. Watch what we do.
It's got a real diverse amount of landscapes, a lot of sand, but also some really interesting geological formations, the pinnacles, which are really interesting to photograph as well.
360-degree panoramic views filled with really strange landscapes that really excites people to make photography. I can't believe I've lived in Australia so long and not come to this place.
When you come to a place like this, challenging yourself is important, and that's what this week's about. So we're looking at the unusual lines, shapes of the rocks and the sand, but it's going to be the light and different techniques that I hope the group tries to get results beyond their normal comfort zone.
You know, this week is our once a year creative week, and this particular trip has been quite a large group.
But a real mix of photographic skills, right from people who are quite literally using a camera for the first time, right to people who are, you know, making a living from photography. The great thing about that is we can all learn from one another. A really nice and positive environment where people are sharing what they know and helping each other out, which is really nice.
There's something enjoyable about returning to a location 2 or even 3 times. So here at the Pinnacles, different time of day, really the conditions are too perfect. So what we're going to look for is shadows, we're going to look at backlighting opportunities, and in the Pinnacles here there's actually some holes, and we're going to use the holes or utilise the holes as a frame to shoot through and have other pinnacles in the background. So sometimes you can get days that are actually too good for photography. I never think quite that way. I always look at it as a challenge, and I'm going to accept that challenge and go for it.
Nambung National Park, I think, is one of those places that it encourages you to explore a bit more. It's easy to think that the only attractions here are sand dunes and the Pinnacles.
Obviously, on the surface is a landscape environment, but the wildlife is here.
Not as much wildlife as you would find in other parts of Australia, but really interesting animals that adapt to a desert landscape.
We're here at the Pinnacles and we've come across a couple of Australian icons, Galahs. They're beautiful birds. With that particular type of animal, I love to use my long telephoto lens. So I've got a 200 to 800 millimeter lens, aperture priority. I've gone to f8 this time. I want a little bit more depth of field. Normally I'd shoot 5.6, something of that nature. And we're lining them up. Because there's 2 birds, we're getting one in the foreground as the key hero bird with one out of focus in the background. Really pretty shot. Have a look at the result. We're just about to pack up, hop in the vehicles. Guess who comes along? Mr. Emu. Fantastic experience. We've been following the emu for quite a while now, keeping a distance using our long telephoto lenses and getting really unique photographic opportunities. Have a look at some of the results. I love shooting Australia's native fauna. Just remember, you don't need to get up close, point blank, to get the image. The best images are often longer telephoto lens, and use that space to allow the animal to feel free. Another day in Nambung National Park, and again we've come very early morning, and the reason being that beautiful early pre-dawn light through to the early sunrise itself. I can't recommend highly enough that you come more often than once to a key location. So we've done our afternoon shoot, we did an evening shoot, and now we're doing a morning shoot. The light's different, the opportunities are different, and I hope the group itself really gets a mix of photographs so that they can add that to several pages in a book rather than a situation of here's a photo, looking the same. I love diversity, you should too.
And that's the great thing about photography. It's not a snap, move on. It's about learning how to see and explore and get your visual senses aware to what is actually around you.
The value for people coming on a trip like this is you get a week to focus on your craft, which is really good for sort of freshening up your photographic skills and learning new things as well.